Welcome back, guys. My name is Nikotulo and we will go over all the viable Shadowhunter build options today. And the next video will probably be a combo guide, so if you're kind of confused about the combos after watching this, take a look and maybe the next video is already up, just for your information. I will start with showing you the most common meta build, which is currently slightly more melee focused, and afterwards I will show you the setup for my ranged variation, aka the Draven build or the Saw build or whatever you want to call it, which is honestly just one ability replaced, and that's really it. And also I will look into or talk to you about the 1v1 PvP options that you have as well. First, a little bonus tip. Shadowhunter has a unique auto attack interaction, in which after the first 3 auto attacks, you can wait for a little bit until your character glows purple. Once you hit an auto attack again at that right moment, the Shadowhunter will dash further and knock up opponents. This is actually quite useful, and well, I will go into more detail in the next Shadowhunter combo guide. Now let's get started with the main course. First, Demonic Slash. This is the backbone of your mobility. In this setup you have 2 charges, plus you gain a movement speed buff after activation. You can stagger the second charge to gain maximum movement speed uptime as well. This ability is also hard stagger immune and hard staggers. You can use this to engage, disengage, and to just reposition your character. One of the best Shadowhunter abilities for sure, and mandatory in all builds. Next up is Demonic Clone. This is not only one of your main combo tools, but also another hard stagger immunity. The first hit staggers your opponent and the second one knocks them up. Keep in mind that this will not be super effective if the target is too far away for the second hit, as the first one pushes them back slightly. Also mandatory in all builds, as this gives you a combo and a neutral tool, allowing you to challenge hard stagger approaches from like a gunslinger or even a gunlancer probably. Next up is Grind Chain. Grind Chain is an unprotected ranged hard stagger. This ability allows you to interrupt other ranged classes and debuff them with a pretty powerful slow. This allows you to kite better and help your teammates without getting in danger yourself. Very strong tool with a fairly low cooldown. Sharpened Cut. This is your main engage option, one of the fastest abilities in the entire game. Very easy to catch people off guard because they can't react in time. Also, this is hard stagger immune, so you will have a safe engage onto classes like Gunslinger or again Gunlancer or any class that wants to approach with hard staggers. Since it's your main engage tool, it's also your main combo starter. There are actually 2 build options for this. Either invest fully into the 10-point tripod, which gives us a little bit more crit damage and crit chance, or you just opt out of that and go for the 7-point tripod, which just removes a little bit of the damage and allows you to get an additional tripod on Rising Claw. Speaking of which, Rising Claw is similar to Demonic Clone, a hard stagger immune knockup. The main difference here is that Rising Claw is a way quicker knockup than Demonic Clone, as it only has 1 hit and doesn't have to wait for the second one. On top of that, it doesn't do damage really, so this is just another neutral combo starter or combo extender. There are a lot of different build options for this, but I think the 4-point route in which you just get the hard stagger immune tripod is the most efficient, although the 7-point one is also pretty good, as it allows you to catch people easier in neutral. Next up is Demonic Vision. This is the only hard CC, ability in most builds. A ranged beam that can shut down engages and punish stationary enemies. This also allows you to start combos, obviously. There are a couple of different ways to tripod this one. The one you see on screen is the most efficient in my opinion, as it allows you to be responsive in any situation and be fast and have a very quick ranged hard CC, although obviously the damage suffers a bit, but I think that's fine. Keep in mind this ability is not protected at all, so you can get interrupted at any time. Next up is a Piercing Thorn, one of the strongest tools of Shadowhunter probably. This ability is a ranged knockup with a little bit of a startup animation, so keep that in mind. Unprotected again, so try to be as safe as possible because, as I said, this will take a while to actually get off, so if a War Dancer approaches you, this will be hard to get off. An incredibly strong peel ability, and also allows you to extend combos, as the ranged knockup in combination with a huge AoE range makes this a very threatening tool. And last but not least for the meta build is Thrust Impact. This is an unprotected knockup burst combo finisher. High damage, fast, but a little low on the ranged part. So you gotta be really in there to hit it. As I mentioned already, this can be used to finish combos off, as it throws opponents away from you and pushes yourself the opposite direction. Don't overcommit with this. Use it as a very fluid combo finisher that gets you out of the fight quickly. And now for my personal favorite variation, which removes thrust impact and replaces it with Cruel Cutter. Cruel Cutter is the highest ranged ability of Shadowhunter, although unprotected and doesn't really have CC outside of a soft stagger, can really throw opponents off. I enjoy playing with this a lot as it enables you to play very defensively and basically transforms your melee class or your melee combo focus class into a ranged assassin. You can create a lot of space with this, and if your opponents aren't ready, you can even use it as a combo starter. Keep in mind though that this ability has a pretty high cooldown and can also screw over your teammates. Lastly, I will show you two abilities I like to opt into for 1v1 PvP. First is Slasher, which is a short-ranged hard CC, which is honestly mainly used to set up for the other ability, which is Decimate. Decimate is a high damage unprotected knockup, although since the knockup part is quite delayed, you'll need Slasher beforehand to, actually hit it properly. These two abilities together make for a very powerful 1v1 combo. Oh, and there's one more thing I forgot actually. This ult right here, if I edit it correctly, is the ult you use in all types of content. So the initial hit is a fear, and after that it hard staggers. On top of that, the very last hit of the ability is a knockup. If you can keep the target CC'd throughout the entire thing, because the hard stagger won't be enough on its own, then you can get another knockup off of it as well. And with that, we've covered all of the viable abilities of Shadowhunter, although there is one more which is called Spinning Dive that is... It gets an honorable mention, although I don't think it's good enough. If you're in dire need of a super armor, look into that one, although I don't think it's that great. Outside of that, all of the viable builds, or all of the builds that I talked about today, will be in the description below, so if you want to check them out immediately and don't want to watch the entire video again just to look up which tripods you need, that's probably where you should go. And if I could help you out with this video, please consider subscribing. I'm probably live streaming on Twitch right now while you're watching this, so if you're interested in that, or if you want to ask more complex questions, go over there. It's probably the best way to do it. Outside of that, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Peace.